Hey, the other thing I wanted to talk about was Deadpool. Now, I keep seeing a lot of things of maybe Deadpool's going to be every single role. I don't think that's good. Unless I saw someone say maybe Deadpool is split into three people because sometimes he's shown to have a second voice in his head. And in the Shattered Dimensions game, Deadpool is there and he's shown to have two different people. He touched something. Maybe they do something similar. The Chronovium split him into three people. One's a heal, one's a strategist, one's a support, one's a tank. Or maybe he went to the office and he complained that people weren't going to be playing him enough if he was a DPS. So he got himself into every role as three different characters. So that way you could play him more with fourth wall breaking and stuff like that. That one, I think, as long as you make them distinct enough by design, so that way you can tell on a glance who you're fighting against, I think that's fine. Honestly, I think that's cool. But having one character with either a flexible kit based on what the rest of your team is playing, so like whatever your team plays, his kit changes, or having one character and you just decide which version you're playing, I think that's bad. And I might be crazy for saying that. While it's cool and while it's so Deadpool, I think it's bad for the game because we already have the same problem in this game so far, that supports don't die fast enough, do too much damage, and do so much healing. And DPS do crazy amounts of damage, and all the good ones can survive forever. The Necros clip with Daredevil, and he's fighting the Jeff. Honestly, that's not even a problem with triple support, because you only have two supports healing. What's a problem is that Daredevil was able to last, and like the two supports were healing one person, and so Daredevil couldn't kill them. That's obviously kind of messed up. But Daredevil was able to last in a 1v5 for so long, just wailing into Jeff without doing any like specific one-shot combos or any combos to kill him super fast. He's just pressing the buttons. He's able to survive for so long against 1 versus 5. And that's also a problem, that the DPS do so much damage and don't die. All the good ones can survive for so long, like Hela with her last time they buffed her, it was to her bird. Her bird now gives her bonus health, so she can survive longer. It's crazy. And then things on top of that, the tanks, they do so much damage. They're not supposed to die super easily, but they do so much damage. They're super versatile. The ones that are really good just never die. Like Mag almost never dies. Penny helps her entire team almost never die with a speed boost and regeneration and overshield. It's kind of a little insane that every character is so good at everything. Not every character, but all the really good ones that we have a problem with, that like, oh, we need to nerf them, we need to change something. The problem is that they're so good at everything. There's not a area where Invisible Woman or Gambit lacks in, or like there's not an area that they are weaker in and that you can take advantage of. They're just good at everything, and so that's a problem. So if Deadpool has all three kits and he's a combination of all three, that just exasperates the problem. He is again able to do everything and anything without any drawbacks. He can heal you, he can tank, he can probably, I would assume it would, if he has a tank kit, it would be not the same thing as Mr. Fantastic, where he can survive for a long time, but he shares resources with the team and he helps the team survive, and he has a crazy damage output. That would be insane and insanely broken, even just beyond like, oh, he released Busted and that's like part of the hype that there's this new character and he's really good. Even beyond that, having fun playing a Busted character, there's no real good way to balance it. Like, I think I've said this once or twice with Gambit. Gambit can do everything, and he's the jack of all trades. But there's nothing that he does. Like, he's really good at everything. If they made him middle of the road or kind of on the weaker side of everything, that puts him as jack of all trades, master of none, but he's still really hard to balance. Same thing with Emma. Emma is kind of balanced right now, but still top 2 tank because you really can't balance Emma. Emma has crazy DPS. Her beam upgrades her DPS when you hit enough people. She has a good shield that she can reposition at any time with a 3-second cooldown that recharges and has 400 health. You can use it to block off heals. You can use it to block damage. You can use it so versatile to block ultimates. Easier than it is to block ultimates with Strange or Mag because you can just place it. On top of that, Emma has an extra form with extra DPS, 2 CCs, and 20% damage reduction. It's insane the amount of things Emma can do. Emma does everything that you need a tank to do, and some of the stuff you need a DPS to do. She is going to be very hard to keep balanced. Even though she's balanced right now, she's still top 2. And the only other way you can make the other tanks compete is by buffing them, which they've shown by buffing every tank in the game but Emma. So they buffed every tank in the game but Emma, and Emma's still top 2. That's why it's crazy to me. And so a character who can do everything like that is going to be goated at the game no matter what you do. And that's a problem. I think that's bad for the game because we are already seeing the issues with that when we see triple support, and like why triple DPS doesn't work, because people just go triple support and they're not losing out on damage and they're not losing out on survivability, and their tanks are surviving forever, and they have a support ultimate every 20 seconds because they're not stealing ult charge because they can do so much damage. They can get ult charge that way as well. And that's a problem. So to have Deadpool exacerbate that role would be a problem. Now, if Deadpool can just switch roles, that's weird for me, because there's only 2 ways you can do it. Deadpool has a role at the beginning of the game, and you choose it and you can't change it. Or you can change his role at any point as long as you're in the spawn room. Now, my problem with this is that it does not make Deadpool conform to his team. It will make the team conform to the Deadpool player. Because if you only know Deadpool DPS, or if you only know Deadpool support, or if you only know Deadpool tank, there's no more versatility in that. And we've seen this with every character release. The new character drops, they play the character that they want to play, and the team, if you want to win, you have to conform to them, play around them, and sometimes carry them in order to win, because they're not going to swap. And we already know that that's how the games go when new characters release. That's fine. People want to play the new character, that's fine. But if you're a DPS player and you want to play Deadpool, now the team has to conform to Deadpool, DPS Deadpool. Or if you're a tank player and you want to play Deadpool, now your team has to conform to tank Deadpool. And it doesn't, it's supposed to be, oh, I play Deadpool, so I can play all 3 roles. So, depending on what my team needs, I can play anything. And I think it's going to have the reverse effect. In due time, it'll probably flip, and it will be better. But on release, I think it will have that problem. The bigger problem I have with it, though, is it will not be easy to tell what Deadpool does when you start a fight. So let's say it's Clintar. Let's say we're battling on Clintar. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. And I'm on defense, and I'm on offense, and I walk out of spawn. I turn that corner, and as soon as I turn that corner, no matter what tank I'm playing, I see the enemy tanks, and I often see 1 or 2 DPS. And from that instant, I go, okay, this is what they're playing. This is how I have to play to counteract that. If I'm playing Penny, does that mean I place my nests in the back? If I see a Venom start swinging or a Hulk, I'll place 1 or 2 nests in the back for my supports, instead of pushing up fast as possible, placing my nest there so I can hold ground and we can have a fight right next to them. Like, if I'm playing Mag, what do I do? If I'm playing Strange, I need to know what's going to be coming at me. How often can I shield flick? How hard can I press into them? Because Strange, the shield has to be off cooldown. Not off cooldown, but like it has to be a way for some amount of time for the shield recharge to go up. So, but if it's Deadpool, unless they make each different role, no matter depending on what role you pick, completely different looking from the other, I'm going to turn the corner, see Deadpool, and I have to wait. I have to wait until I see his kit or I see his health bar to know what I'm up against. For the most part, because I mean, I can't really think about it. He could be anything. And that's the problem that I have with him being three different things. If he's three different characters, you could play Deadpool 3 times on the same team. You could play Deadpool as a tank, as a DPS, and as a support. And like I said, he's split into 3 different people, and they do something to change the colors or change how he looks so that way you can tell. I think that's fine. But one character, and I don't really know until things happen, because let's say they're playing tank Deadpool, and then after the first death, he swaps to DPS. I don't know if they're on one tank, 3 DPS, or 2 tanks, 2 DPS. I don't know until I see him again and I see his kit. I could press tab, but I wonder how that would work. Because with strategist, he'll obviously move to the bottom, but if he stays at the top for tank, maybe he could be tank or DPS. And if he goes to the bottom and he's at the top of strategist, he could be strategist or DPS. They could be playing triple support or triple DPS, and I don't know. I don't know. Even just by looking at the scoreboard, it could be hard to tell. And that's where I have the problem with him just being able to switch mid-game. But I want him to be flexible. I want him to... Honestly, I thought he was going to be a DPS. I was going to be fine with him being a DPS. I was like, there's the funny guy. He's going to be a DPS, man. I mean, what do you want? But, I mean, with everyone speculating about this, I figured I would say why I don't think it's the best idea. But honestly, I think he's going to be fun. So, no matter what happens, I think I'll be good. Let me know what you guys think. Because I want to know how other people perceive him being all 3 roles, because for me it looks a little concerning, but for other people they seem to be fine with it, so I don't know. Alright. Wet Willy!